Rotate to the lead leg. Ooh, a little stiff that way. Ooh. Oh, my upper back is like cobwebs blasting. Oh, that feels good. Up. Ooh. Oh, stop falling over. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, and you have to make those noises, otherwise I will be disappointed. Oh! Ah! I'm gonna give you a one exercise workout and we're gonna start right now. Okay, so we are actually going to do one exercise with a bunch of variations, but we're gonna go through this simple movement, okay, and we're gonna build upon it, and the whole workout is just going to be using this one exercise. So, what is it? The first exercise and the only exercise that we're gonna be doing is a lunge. Now, what I recommend in this case is just get into a split stance. So if you're someone who struggles with doing lunges, you can't do a lunge, just start with a split stance, okay? So you're gonna hold this isometrically, and you can just be in this position, and the first thing that I want you to do is, if your left leg is the lead leg, okay, and I want you guys to try this, go to the gym today and try this entire workout. Well, first thing we're gonna do is go here and come back. Okay, here and come back. And I can actually think about twisting, and I'm just holding nothing. I'm just holding the air, right? So this is the first movement. I'm here, I'm gonna twist, and my whole goal is that I'm focused on this position without having to hop all over the place. So my hips, my quads, hamstrings, my glutes, my trunk is all going to be trained in this entire workout. So it's gonna be a core workout, a full body workout, everything that you could ever want using this one exercise. Now we're gonna build upon it. We're gonna give you more variations. We're gonna give you more things that you can do while just using your body and a couple other implements. Well, I'm gonna go here, come back, okay? And even right there, when I came back, I almost started to fall this way. So we're starting to focus on our hip position, our feet grabbing, and focusing on that nice trunk control, okay? So we're here and come back. Now, if you're a little bit stronger, one thing that you can do, or you're starting to warm up, you start to feel pretty good, we can go here, rotate. And now I'm gonna go like this and rotate. Back, rotate. Front, rotate. Now notice my left foot stayed in place there. Okay, so the next thing I can do, I can keep my right foot in place. Rotate to the lead leg. Ooh, a little stiff that way. Rotate to the lead leg. Rotate to the lead leg. Ooh. Rotate to the lead leg. Okay, so the first thing that we went through, first, we want to do a lunge. That's going to target our glutes, hamstrings, quads, abs. Next, we want to rotate here. The next thing that we can do is that we can take that step and rotate. Step back and rotate. The next thing after that, we can add a plate. And we can use the plate to add some type of resistance. Those are the first four exercises, just using the one key exercise. Now we're gonna go into the next round of movements that are just based off the lunge. All right, so a lot of coaches will use rotation in their training because they want to improve their overall performance, and there's something around how your spine can rotate, okay, and based off your spinal rotation and your trunk control, how well you're gonna perform in some type of athletic endeavor. Now, I also believe if you're someone training for longevity, say you're inside of Peak Strength, which is our strength training app, and you're using our athletic fitness program, let's say you're an older individual, which click the first link in the description, head over to peakstrength.app, download that today and start building your fitness. Now, if we're using Peak Strength, or if we're using some type of movement as we get older that has rotation, I think it's absolutely imperative that we stay mobile in our trunk, okay, and in our hips as we age, so that we can go through different positions, different types of rapid movements that might come up, and we can actually handle that stress. Okay, a lot of us just go to the gym and we go, I was just recently in Iceland and I'm watching 30-year-old guys do one-arm rows with 30-pound dumbbells. And in 15 years, you're gonna see the same dude doing 15-pound dumbbell one-arm rows, looking like a little bitch. But I'm happy they're in the gym. I just wish they were using Peak Strength. So if we actually think about other things that we can do to make progress, we can use the lunge and start to vary things with different types of rotation. Okay, so this first one that I like to do, which is a little bit easier, is gonna be a really freaking slow Zercher lunge. Okay, so I'm doing a lunge, I'm going here, and I like to think about a target. Right there's my target, my elbow to my quad. I come through, and now I'm gonna bring my other elbow to my quad. Okay, I come through, and I'm getting that rotation. I can tell you right now, my abs are already on fire. I can feel it in my hips, and I can feel my quads. Here, oh, that's nice. And we wanna think like 3, 4, 5 second eccentric. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, one more. Okay, here. Oh, that's pretty good. So that's that first aspect with rotation and load. Now, remember, we are focusing entirely on the lunge, okay? So right there, we had a little bit deeper position. We got a little bit more hip flexion. And what ends up also happening, you'll start to feel it at your tie-in where your hamstring leads into your glutes. Okay, so you get that little twist, okay? And you flex, you'll feel it in your abs, you'll feel it in your back, you'll get everything lit up. Now the next way to do this, which you can do a little bit faster now, okay, is going to be in a goblet position. So I'm gonna be here, and I'm gonna do here. Now I'm a little more upright. But I still wanna think about getting my elbow past my knee. In this part, I'm gonna be rotating past my knee. And you can see I almost fell over there. So this is a big aspect of good mobility, good trunk control. It's gonna help with longevity. It's also gonna help if somebody sucks, let's say with their agility on the football field. These are movements that you can use to build their strength while they're doing some type of shuttles, some type of sprints with cutting drills. If they struggle to come out of those cuts, you build these movements in the weight room while you continue to hone in on their skill out on the field. So I'm gonna go here. Oh yeah. Ah. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, my upper back is like cobwebs blasting. Oh, that feels good. Okay, so those are the first two movements. We got one that's gonna be really slow eccentric with a little bit more range. We got the second one where we're just gonna be rotating a little bit more, and those you can go a little bit heavier on. Now the third one is where we're gonna start to get a little bit more dynamic. When we're going through an entire lunge workout, you can do each movement for, let's say, 2 sets, 3 sets, and you just work on the feeling, okay? You work on going through feeling. How does this feel? Okay, I feel pretty good, I feel pretty mobile. And each set, you're just sort of working through those positions. You're dialing in how your body is, how limber you can be, how you can improve this. And over time, you start to increase your range of motion. You start to feel your posture when you're sitting at your freaking desk. Okay, so now the next movement is that I'm gonna go a little quicker here. And I'm gonna hold this, I don't know how I would call this, maybe like a bucket hold. Okay, so we're here, we're gonna go a little bit quicker. And it's like an up and a down, and an up and a down. Okay, and I'm gonna show you from the side, is that I want, in this case, if I'm walking this way, twist to my lead leg, rotate to my lead leg. I said this is like a Daft Punk song, okay? So I'm gonna rotate to my lead leg, and I want the dumbbell past my glute, okay? So I'm going here, okay? So that gives us a deeper rotation that's a little bit quicker. And because we went through those first 2 rotational positions with a little bit slower positioning, now we can build into this. The cool part with this workout is that if you didn't really like, or if you didn't like how you felt on the slow movement, keep working on that, okay? So if I didn't like the Zercher and how I felt here, I would just keep trying to feel that, okay? I wanna do a couple more sets here. I can do 4, 5, 6 sets here, just because I wanna start to loosen up a little bit better before I get into that dynamic thing, the dynamic lunge. But now, on the dynamic lunge, I want to think about this wave almost, up, down, rotate deep, up, down, rotate deep, up, down, rotate deep. So I'm gonna go here, oh, that feels so good. Okay, so those are the next 3 movements. Now, I'm gonna take a little breather, I'm gonna come back and we're gonna show you the last parts of this workout that's gonna be just using the lunge. The next 3 exercises we're gonna do, okay? We're gonna go through some more dynamic movements. So when we go through the first 3 exercises that I provided, we're gonna be slower, building through, feeling positions. Those second 3 movements, that's where we had really, really nice rotation, and we want to feel good in those positions. And the reason being is that if you have to get to the point where you're doing those 3 exercises for, let's say, I don't know, you could do them for 3-4 weeks before you progress to the more dynamic aspects. Okay, so typically in the past, I've shown you jump lunges like this, where we're rotating, okay? I've shown you drop lunges. Gosh, I could not remember what I was calling them, drop lunges here, right? So these are all extra versions of the lunge. Now, what I wanna show you today, I'm gonna show you one movement that I absolutely freaking love for jump lunges that requires a little bit more skill as far as how we're placing the dumbbell. Okay, so we're here and we're jumping. So we're in a little bit more of a flexed position, okay? And then at the bottom, we want to really absorb and yield that load, okay? So we could sort of term these deep yielding or deep tier yielded, loaded plyometrics. Shout out Matt Watson. But what this will look like is we're here, up, boom, up, boom. Ah, stop falling over. Boom. And when we do this, we're in this deeper position, you are going to light up your glutes. Okay, so make sure that you do the other exercises first through that pattern. Now, the last 2 movements are stupid aggressive, okay? So the second one of this batch of 3 is going to be an aggressive twist. I've shown this in the past almost in like a split walk. So we're gonna demonstrate a split walk and we're gonna demonstrate with a true lunge. Okay, so we're gonna get set here and I'm gonna go get set, rotate to the lead leg. If there is one thing I absolutely despise is when I see my athletes rotating to the back leg. I just hate it. So we're gonna go here, boom, 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 boom. Okay, and you have to make those noises, otherwise I will be disappointed. Okay, so that's like a walking lunge with minimal range of motion with the dumbbell rotation. Those are movements that we'll use again if we have a football player, wrestlers, our shot putters and our discus throwers. Somebody like Alex Rose, who just got third at World Championships, might be doing these during the prep phase. So when Jeff Nippard calls me out and says it's a gimmick, I can just say like, sorry, Jeff. We use these movements with actual athletes that perform well at the world stage, not just online, which coaching online is fine. But when we do that, okay, now the next progression will be we're gonna go a little bit faster or try to get faster while being deep on it, okay? So again, this could be a form of like a rhythmic walking lunge. So we'll go here. Okay, so we want to think about pushing from that back foot, driving hard from that back foot. In this case, I would go push hard off the back foot, get deep and rotate as far back as you possibly can. So that's where we're looking at this from the perspective of using some of those rotational movements early on, using those slow eccentric or the isometric movements as deep as we can get to help improve that feeling. Then we get into the dynamic part, and that really helps us feel as athletic as possible. Okay, and then the last movement is one that I love. I'm gonna show you 2 variations of it. So actually we're giving you like 15 exercises in this, all based off the lunge. The last one we're gonna do first where we stop. And this is extremely challenging, okay? So we're gonna grab a 10-kilo plate, and I'm gonna go here, boom, boom. And you can just see, man, I didn't wanna do that. You can see right there, I just started to fall over. So we've gotta focus on our trunk, okay? Focus here, focus on the hip position, and grab with the feet, okay? So I'm here, boom, 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 boom. And one thing that we can do is actually guide our athletes, or even you guys, and say like, pause, 1, 2, 3, go. And you can sort of mix up the cadence of it and do that as quickly as possible or as slow as possible to make sure that they're strong in that split position, in that lunge position. Now the last version of this would be, I wanna just go quickly, and I'm here, oh, ah, just rotating. Fell over a little, but we can correct that. And athletes that end up, falling and correcting it in the middle of a set, that's sort of gonna help you see where they're at as far as their athletic capability. I'm a freak athlete, so I correct it as quickly as possible. Now, use all of these lunges, okay? But make sure that you're building through them. Start with the simple stuff. Get into that really slow, eccentric, rotational movement stuff. And then, after you feel confident, that's when you start to hammer the more dynamic movements. But it takes time, okay? And that's the big factor here. So you gotta take time to think about committing to that fitness journey by working through all these different positions, just like you guys need to commit to your own strength and conditioning journey by clicking on the link down in the description, heading over to peakstrength.app, the Google Play Store or the Apple iOS Store. If you want more content like this, click on this card right here, because remember, freaks, if you want to become a champion, you've always got to cultivate your power. Peace.